All right, we're underway.
Welcome to the Fallen Giants podcast, underrated versus overrated part 2. We was obviously did the part 1 that went well, and just decided that we needed to do a part 2 because there was too many names for us to debate. So hopefully you enjoy this as much as the first. How you doing, guys?
I mean, listen,
good.
I was excited.
I was excited after the last one.
I kind of wish we could have got Maddison in on this one. I'm not going to lie, that would have been absolutely mental. But
he would have chucked out some very interesting Spurs names.
When we
He's
do
the missing man at the moment.
When we do a next, well, he can film later in the week. When we do the next idea that I've got lined up, you can be on that one. To be fair. But yeah, it's not long till the season, you know. It's not long till.
No, isn't it week on Friday? Isn't it?
Yeah, week. That's fucking no. Wait.
Yeah, I think so. Of August, isn't it?
Yeah.
So when's the Community Shield? This weekend?
Yeah, I think so.
Jesus Christ! I'm not gonna lie about you lot.
It's Arsenal have Emirates Cup, right? That's normally the same.
Yeah. What do you lot? Just quickly before we get into the video, for me, it's come round too quickly. Some people are saying they can't wait for it to come back. I'm not. I'm just
football.
It's just I like my break. I liked it. I really like it. Was
of course you like it because you wanted the season to be over as quick as possible.
It was so stressful, and because we haven't done nowhere near the amount of business that we should have done, I'm now shitting myself going into the season as well. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Looking at you, it's come round for you now. We've obviously been doing the transfer session. We've been saying you're going to hopefully kick on with business and that.
Shit, we got 1 month left. 1 month. Yeah. That's it. And even if it's just so the fact we haven't got it sorted, and other clubs have. Don't get me wrong, Chelsea are in trouble as well.
Chelsea are
Chelsea are.
They're in big trouble. I mean, I'm not saying Arsenal. They're looking okay, but they could be doing better. They could have had a better window as well. But Spurs.
I would disagree on that point a little bit.
What?
That Arsenal could have had a better window. We've got a month left, right? And how many signings we made? We made 5 signings now.
It's not really about the signings, how many, the volume of signings. It's just who you've signed as well and shit. I don't know. Listen, I'm not saying you've had a bad window, but
maybe we should leave that for a different debate.
Yeah, we'll leave that for another time. Well, obviously, I was just going to say we got season previews to start doing.
Yeah, we're gonna have to
predictions and all sorts as well. It's getting into the nitty gritty again and all that watch-alongs.
In our complete amateur performance, we didn't even get round to our end of season.
Oh fucking hell! Yeah. That was a tragedy, but yeah.
I'm looking forward to the preview. I want to see how people are, where Maddison is with Spurs.
Are we going to do a full table? Yeah, relegation as well. Yeah, relegation.
Yeah. Let's do some predictions and all that. Yeah.
All right, wicked. All right, let's get into this video then. Obviously, we'll carry on where we started off. What was the last player we finished on, Chaz? Was it Kante?
I think it was Kante, yeah.
So that was an overrated. I start off with an underrated then. Going into this, one of you lot can start off with it if you want. Whoever you pick wisely, though. Pick wisely.
Start us off with a good one.
I had more overrated. You put me on the spot.
Underrated. Go underrated. I've got. Unless you want me to start.
You've got one, yeah. Throw one out there, yeah. I'm just thinking in my head.
I'm going to go with. I'm going to start off with John Stones. I wanted to get that out there as well.
Underrated.
Yeah, on underrated. I think I've got a good pitch for this one as well. I just think, all right, he signed from Everton, 5 years ago to City. He's won 4 league titles now. And, okay, he's been in and out sometimes. They've had Diaz and Laporte, sometimes a partnership. But whenever he has played, I don't see him. Remember, we first saw John Stones. He was making mistakes at the start, wasn't he? He saw it for England a couple of times, and people were laughing at him because, oh look, he's trying to play out from the back, wasn't he? Everyone was like, he wasn't a traditional English defender, was he? He wasn't a typical brute or anything. No. He's not exactly the biggest guy, but when I think about it now, he kind of just slips under the radar. Hence why I'm putting him in the underrated. That he's been an integral part of a lot of title-winning sides now as well. And I'm just thinking. When you think about it, by the time he finishes his career, he might be one of the most decorated, if not the most, one of the most decorated English players ever in the Prem.
Are you talking about him being? I think it's probably good to clarify how you're classing him as underrated. Are you saying his playing style? Are you saying his footballing ability? or is it the media's and the world's view on him that makes him underrated?
He's the only centre back England have that's comfortable on the ball.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
And I just think I don't know. I just think that I think people rate him, but he's not rated enough. That's why I'm putting it on. I don't think he's rated. We don't put him in that top 5 centre backs in the world category.
No. He you probably turn around and ask everyone, and initially no one would even think about him. But if you actually put him in the conversation and said, "Oh yeah, what about John Stones in there?" I guarantee you people would turn around and go, "Oh, actually, I didn't think about John Stones," because he is like, for me, I think he's excellent.
Would you lot say he's our guaranteed starting England centre back, and then it's whoever partners him?
That's exactly what I was going to say to you. Like, I actually don't think a lot of fans say that, but I think 100% he is. But I don't think a lot of people do say that.
Do you think?
For me, he's our best defender. He's our best English defender that we have.
Do you think it's the City? It's just because I know City is so good. Weirdly, when you're so good, you don't really get a record. Some players don't get recognition in such a great side. That's the thing. So many great players. Like, he's not even a guaranteed starter, which is nothing. It's not green on him. It's just because they got such good options at centre back.
Yeah,
like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna put him into it, but Aymeric Laporte was my other underrated player. He was as well.
Yeah, I had Rodri on the thing as well.
Yeah, so Laporte I rate just as highly as Stones.
Because they're so good, they don't get that recognition, do they? In a way.
Yeah, in a weird way. This is controversial.
Yeah.
I prefer Stones and Laporte as a partnership to Diaz and Laporte, or Diaz and Stones. So honestly, I'm being serious. I actually prefer Stones and Laporte as a partnership. I don't get me wrong, I like Diaz, but I think as a partnership, them two, I remember seeing them 2 or 3 years ago. They were solid, them two together, and they're both so comfy on the ball as well. That's the thing.
Yeah. I personally think that Diaz and Stones is that best. Is the best centre back partnership for
so not Laporte,
for City.
No,
I don't actually.
I like
if I had to
like
Laporte, I would have completely disagreed with you on the underrated. I think he's either fairly rated or overrated in my opinion. I don't rate him very much, but I what you chucking out John Stones, for me, he's 100%. He's England's best.
How much did he join City for at the time from Everton? Was it 50 million?
Was it that much?
Yeah, it was 50.
It was 50.
So
yeah,
it's one of them
that's what got a lot of slack as well.
It came with a lot of pressure as well on top of it as well. And I think, like, if you compare him to the likes of Maguire, I know circumstances are different, but it's chalk and cheese how they've reacted to their price tags at the time as well. So
Absolutely.
As well and shit.
Interestingly enough, how would you, just because we're talking about English centre-backs and people of that character, you said that he's our only ball-playing centre-back, and I agreed with you initially, and then automatically thought, shit, no, that's not true, because we've got Ben White. Where would you class them two, like, in terms of ability?
It's good that you brought that up. I do think Ben White is the closest thing to John Stones in terms of playing style and even build, everything. They're quite slim, both of them as well. And
they are.
But I just think that obviously White needs to go up levels to get to Stones' level. That's the thing at the minute. So obviously, I think if White was under, then again, Arsenal are literally creating like a BTEC version of City.
BTEC City, innit?
They're literally like they're modelling their game on pretty much City. So it'll be interesting to see as Arsenal get better, to see how much the levels of White will go up as well. That's the thing. I know you've been playing him right. Sorry, I know we're going off the cuff here, but you've been playing him further right back and that. But then again, I don't know if you've seen Chaz. Stones has played right back for City a few times last season as well. So both, it's very similar. That's a really good comparison to make.
Would you partner both of them up for the World Cup?
No, I wouldn't. Not this World Cup as well. I'll carry on Maguire and Stones. I would for this World Cup.
Would you? Even though I don't know if we've mentioned Maguire coming in as one of the most overrated players.
He's not overrated though. He's hated all over. He can't be overrated.
Oh, okay, yeah. But I mean, in terms of all right, okay. Take the past 6 months away, or what?
No, not 6 months. For me, from the start, to be honest, this guy's had so much hate. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's OTT. I think it's over the top a little bit. I think it's a bit over the top.
It is a bit OTT. But in terms of playing ability,
Ollie, you literally said you take Maguire at Arsenal a year ago. Did I remember this?
No. Get me the receipts. I never
swear,
said that.
Chaz will find it one day. Yeah,
Nick, I'm a little bit against you with this one because I think he's still the highest centre back transfer fee.
Well, as a singular fee, yeah, on a singular transfer fee, yeah.
And some of the performance, I think he's shocking, mate.
He's not.
He is.
Chaz,
You even
were the
watch
one
some
that
of those
hold on,
highlight
hold on,
reels and stuff like that.
You
He's
changed
an
the
absolute
record.
calamity.
You over a year ago, you were like, you know what? He's actually not a bad centre back as well, and he's decent as well now. Like,
I don't remember saying that.
Chaz, you said that. Trust me, 100%.
I've hated him at England, and you lot just said you'd have him in the side.
No. For England, he's been okay. He's not put a foot wrong there.
And I still don't want him. I would have
I don't want him.
You do realise at the Euros he was definitely our best centre back. He was as well. The recent one that just went last year. When he came in, he was unbelievable. He got man of the match against Germany. He did as well. Honestly, I remember.
He's had good performances for England. That's the thing that's been saving him because Southgate likes him.
Yeah, but I can go off the fact that I've watched him for 3 years straight. I haven't missed a game of his. Yeah, only in the last season he's been like that. For the first season and a half, he was actually solid. He was a solid 7 out of 10 at least. He was good. We had a good defensive record. He was a solid defender.
Yeah, but even that solid isn't good enough for how much he cost.
But Chaz, I remember discreetly having this conversation. Yeah, that you said he just needs a partner, a better partner. So he's not the A side. He's the B side.
I disagree. I don't think he does just need a better partner. He's been next to, whether it be in England or United, he's had good partners next to him.
He hasn't at United. He hasn't barely had good partners out to when I think about it, United. He's not.
What, you don't think Varane's a good partner for him?
No. Varane's on my overrated list, so he's definitely not a good partner as well.
I disagree. I think Varane's got all the attributes to be a great partner for him.
Varane is shite. Trust me.
Yeah, but this is the problem, Nick. Even if that was true and I said all that and I liked him a year ago, all that's fine. Yeah, and now I've changed my mind. But even saying that he needs a good partner and he's a 7 out of 10, that's still not good enough for 80 million.
I'm not saying I'm not rating him. I just think he gets way too much slack. That's the thing as well. He can't affect his price tag, obviously. That's the thing as well. Yeah.
No.
We paid the money. For that. Yeah.
Yeah, you are right.
I'm just thinking. He's not. I think what it is, Chaz, what's skewing your vision is that because the price tag's so heavily on your mind that obviously we know he's not that price tag, but he's also not as shit as people make out. That's the thing as well. Like he's a solid Premier League centre back. He's a solid Premier. You can't deny that for me. He's a top 10 centre back, top 8 centre back. He is.
Yeah,
he proved there Leicester.
That's the thing. He's anywhere between.
But I'm unfortunately
like 10th side to a potential 4th if they're a really good side and everything's going right for him and he comes in and he comes out.
Let me give you circle. If he plays in a back 3 and he's got good support around him, he's going to look decent in a Chelsea.
What you're saying, though, really, is to be at the top, you wouldn't have Maguire on your centre back because City and Liverpool wouldn't.
I'd have him in our squad. He'd definitely.
Okay, well that's not really a great thing. Anyway.
Yeah, but
but he'd be a good backup centre back to have. If you told me, if I told you you'd have Maguire as your 3rd or 4th choice centre back, you'd be like, okay, cool. We must have a solid set of centre backs then.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. But
then I think then he is overrated. Then.
Yeah, but are you just going down?
He shouldn't be a 3rd or 4th choice top player. He should be a starting centre back for the best teams in the world.
Why though? Just because of the price tag?
Because of the price tag,
and
because of everything that comes with it.
He came with a lot of potential.
The potential he came with. He had a good World Cup in it. He did basically, and a decent season for Leicester.
Well, but it came off the back of very good season for Leicester, really.
Okay, a very good season, but how are you judging United's transfer activity and like actually taking it seriously? Do you know what I'm saying? You know when you say we overhype everyone, that's the thing as well. Like
whether you do or whether you don't, that's what came. That was the position he was in.
Yeah, like regardless, a lot of fans, even after United, like if you even from an outsider seeing you sign, even though the price tag is not his fault and all that, seeing you sign someone who's come off a really good season at Leicester for 80 million, with a decent amount of potential.
Yeah,
there would have been fans looking, Jesus Christ, they're making moves.
But yeah, I get that. I fully understand that. But the reason I'm even making this point about Maguire is that he gets to the point where it's unnecessary hate. Like,
now it is. No, now it is. I agree with that.
He gets booed in pre-season. It's stupid. It's because let's be honest, Lindelof's not any better than Maguire, is he? Let's be honest.
I do agree with that. There will be a lot of other players in your team that I could slate just as much. I'm not saying. It almost becomes a little bit of a scapegoat, but
it's just one of them that I just think Maguire. I just think that I don't even want to be defending him too much because I don't think he's great. But I just think that I've watched enough of him, and I'm like, I just feel like it's become too much of a trend now to hate.
It has. It's almost. No, you're right. It's too much. There's too much on it, and we go too hard into it. But the original question was, would Maguire be the best partner for John Stones in an England World Cup? And for me personally, I don't think he is.
Ollie, who's yours? Before Chaz says his, who's yours?
I would partner White with him out of who we've got, and just put John Stones on the left.
And Chaz,
I disagree with you. But, I think White's not quite ready. As much as I probably rate him more than you.
You rate him more than I do, so I'm surprised.
I do think, off the performances of England, Maguire is the obvious choice. I would be interested, but this is why I thought. I know it going off a little bit of an England tangent, but the Nations League and that, it doesn't matter or whatever. But I wanted to see more of someone like having Stones and Tomori partnered up. Because I think in a season, as in last season, Tomori was England's best centre back performance.
I can back that. It's just I think this should be Maguire's last starting centre back role at this World Cup. This is it for me. Like this is because only reason I'm saying that is because I don't think he has put a foot wrong for England. So
he has had better performances from now. I will agree with that. So
I'm hoping. Well, obviously, I hope as an England fan that he obviously bloody performs with Stones. But
we went off on a bit of a tangent on Maguire, but when we started on Stones,
no, it's actually fine. No, I'll end the Stones thing now anyway as well because we all rate Stones. We think he's so. I don't know, but just to end it, it's good because Stone is interesting because Maguire wasn't going to come up today potentially, but we managed to get him in there. So
I suppose we've got two in there, two for the price of one. Take that, viewers. Give us a like for two for the price of one.
Okay. Would you agree with me and say Stones is underrated, or do you think he's fairly rated? Then before to wrap that up,
I think he's underrated.
Yeah, same. I'm going to stick with that, the underrated one.
I think he actually was on the verge of, not as much as Maguire, but on the verge of getting a lot of hate.
Yeah.
Before we actually saw him start to actually.
Yeah, he was when he was making all those mistakes and everything.
Like there was people just treating him as a bit of a clown anyway. As well.
Yeah.
I'd say he's probably underrated for.
Mate, what he's operating at now, the level he's operating at is the best in the league, arguably.
Yeah,
he's operating at the top level. So.
Yeah. All right. That's fine.
I think we're all agreed on that one.
All right.
So let's chuck a big international name out there. Go on, Nick. Go on, chuck your Messi out there.
No, not doing Messi. Not doing Messi because Messi's the greatest player to ever grace football. So I'm going to be going.
I've got an overrated.
Oh, what you want to do, Maradona? Yeah.
Ollie's acting as if he watched a kick of Maradona's fucking anything.
Yeah, I've watched a few highlight reels.
All right, go on. Chaz can go with the overrated. Go on.
Yeah, sticking with United, yeah? We'll get out there early.
Yeah.
I think, I don't even know if I said this in part one about someone else. I did make quite a big statement about someone.
You think you said, seriously, you got a United agenda here. I think you said Bruno's the most overrated player.
Yeah, and I forgot about this one. He arguably is the most. Marcus Rashford for me. And some people.
Another player, Ollie said he would debate taking Arsenal.
This will be quite a good one.
Okay.
So okay, I'm gonna, because there will be a lot of people saying, but let's see him in striker position. He's currently operating on the left wing at the moment. He's the most overrated player in the Premier League. There you go.
Yeah, but give us your ground on why. Why do you think that?
Why? You just have to watch him for 5 minutes. This guy, I promise you, doesn't offer anything. He gets the ball. He does a dribble inside and shoots as if he's fucking Messi or Neymar, as if like it's just going to go, or Ronaldo. That is, every single shot is just going to whistle into the back of the net. He scored one goal that I remember against Chelsea, that free kick that was from miles out that he did like a what's the way you kick
The
it?
knuckleball.
Knuckleball.
He's got a decent knuckleball sometimes. He does.
So he tries the knuckleball all
He
the
done
time.
one for England. He done a good one for England actually at one point against Costa Rica. I remember just before the World Cup at one point, which absolutely ripped the net. Yeah, but
Nick, honestly, you I don't know if you agree or not, but I think that is just killing your whole left side when he plays football.
All right. Well, I may as well come from a United fan's perspective. I'm not. Again, I checked out on Rashford about a year and a half, 2 years ago. I was trying to give him a bit of leeway because he had that massive shoulder injury and he had an operation on it. I was like, okay, cool. He'll come back. He'll be a different player. It's so hard for me to judge. The reason is because when he first burst on the scene, he was so exciting. He was just a breath of fresh air. I mean, listen, he was up there with England's biggest hope. He was on that. We thought when he was 21, this guy's in the England team for the next 10 years.
And so did I, by the way. I'm not
Yeah. There's probably receipts where you've said, "Oh, bloody hell, Rashford's decent." He is. But the point is, which I agree with you, this is years ago. This is 4 or 5 years ago now.
He's heavily regressed, in my opinion, and
he has.
And if anything, going on the left, he's got worse. Like
I was going to put him down to injuries, but last season was by far his worst season. Season. And because the season before, if you looked at his numbers, which were deceptive, they were actually okay. He scored over 20 goals in all comps and that. But Rashford is one of them. I think he's got some decent skills. He's got a decent knuckleball, like I said, but his football brain is so low. His football IQ is very low for a top level player. And he constantly makes the wrong decision. He's making, decisions you make as a young player. He hasn't grown out of that. That's the thing as well. And, whether it's the right decision to go past him, go on the outside, go on the inside, or whether to shoot at the right time, he just doesn't have that nous, does he? He just doesn't have, and he still plays with his head down, which you play as a youngster. He doesn't have his head up. He hasn't got, when I compare him to Martial's got so much more to his game than Rashford does. He's much more, I'm going to probably
his attitude isn't been great last season.
Yeah. It's the attitude, because even before he'd work hard and he'd be chasing down, but now all of a sudden his ego's gone up and now not even got the work rate anymore. But I'm not going to give him a lot of United fans, because United fans are very bloody what's the word, like they're very forgiving. So they're probably go, we'll give him another chance this season under 10 Hag.
Quite fickle.
But like similar to Maguire, I think Rashford should be a squad player. I think as well. Again, he's okay as long as he's okay as an outlet to bring off the bench. If you wanna, I think we had discussing, Chaz. You actually said it yourself. His best asset is very similar to like Walcott when he was at Arsenal. Yeah, Rashford should be an outlet to just get in behind. If you want to open and create runs, because he's offside. He's always offside, so that's the problem with him. That's why I'm trying to talk about his IQ. He's awful, but he does stretch defenses because he goes behind, and by doing that helps all the rest of the team. But I agree with you that the levels people are rating him, and there was a point where it was Rashford or Mbappe a couple of years ago. Obviously, they couldn't have gone further ways in trajectories, but I rate Rashford as a squad player. But I have to agree with you that maybe not the most overrated in the league, but he's definitely overrated for me.
And I think, unfortunately, it sort of annoys me a little bit. I do think he almost, people let him off a little bit because of what he done outside of football.
Yeah.
And that side of it is great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not slating him for anything he's done and money he's put up, but just to be like, oh, he's all right. Like, let Rashford off. Like, United need game winners now. Like, we can't.
He's still using that. He's still got that. His PR team's incredible, because he's still doing videos with LeBron James the other day as well. Shit. So like, you see the way they these like companies rate him. They put him in that LeBron James category where it's like these top athletes in their own sport. If you were to get together all the top athletes from tennis, basketball, NFL. Like, you could get Odell Beckham Jr., LeBron James, Federer. They'll put Rashford in there for some reason. They just seem to put him in there as well. And I don't know, maybe you're right. It's the off the pitch stuff that is really, because if you look at his market value, by the way, this is mental. His transfer market value, on transfermarket.com. He's still 85, 90 million pounds. That's the thing as well. And he's still one of the most highest value player in his age bracket, so he's up for the
asset, isn't he? But
yes, he's an asset as well, which is why I was desperate to sell him. If we could cash in on him and get stupid money for him as well, I was like, oh my god, this would be the dream, because talent does not match up to his value.
Yeah.
So I agree with him. He's over. I'll let Ollie have his say now.
Yeah.
So I agree with Chaz.
I don't agree with you two as heavily as you're like sort of not slating him, I guess, but the hate that you're giving him.
Slating him. We are, because
I certainly am.
Chaz said overrated, most overrated in the league. I'm not going to go
you did
that
say
far.
most overrated in the league. I completely disagree with that. But what from my point of view, I think that Rashford is the epitome of the fail of Manchester United.
Okay.
Because this is actually a kid that had all the potential in the world, and when he first came on the scene and everyone started talking about him and everything, he did have a hell of a lot of potential. He was very good at running down the wing with the ball at his feet, and actually being able to play. And that was when he was I want to say 2019, 20.
You're right. He was dynamic. He was very dynamic. He used to just run at players, and he would just get through with his pace, and he'd be decent.
Yeah, exactly.
He has a weirdly good record against the big teams at one point. He was scoring against the big six all the time. There was weird.
And you can back it up because you've watched a lot more of him than I have, because I've only seen him obviously in the old United games and the England games that he played.
Yeah.
I don't personally think he's actually done that well for England, but what my point is if you had someone who actually more nurtured him, I'll give you an example of who I actually think he's a bit like. If you actually nurtured him as a player and properly did some one-to-one training with him, got all those bits that you both have just mentioned out of the way, then I think he actually would have been the player that he's talked about being now. But because none of that happened, and he's 24 now, he's not gonna like. Unfortunately, when you get to 24 now in footballing career, you're classed as actually being getting into the older category. Because you look at some of the players that are in now, and some of them like 17 when they come in and actually do the business. He's I guess he's still young enough to have a big money move, and potentially something might happen for him. But I think he's too old to get out some of those bad habits almost. That might be a bit of a fleeting statement, but I don't agree with you that he's the most overrated player. But I can't fight his corner as much and say he's a great player, because he isn't. He hasn't filled his potential.
Off the back of what you'd expect, or how the fans rate him, media rate him, or whatever, how did you rate his season last season?
It was a bit non-existent. That's the word that I would use. Like, how long was he out injured for, Nick?
Last season, he came back in about October, November time, and he wasn't injured up for the rest of the season, but he was just dropped from the squad.
But he was just in and out. There's no ground for him to actually.
Obviously, last season, every United player was shit. Every single player was shit.
Yeah, and that plays a part. You like, we all know that being in that United side, and this might be harsh to say, but Nick, but you know it. Like, being in that United side, because it is so hectic and there's so much chaos, it's going to be hard for a player like him especially to get his head down and work and actually be good. The challenge that he has at the minute, in my opinion, is that he's focusing so much on the outside work and not on his football, that's not, and I can only say this from the outside in. I don't know how much he might be in the training. He might be training every single day from like 8 to 9, whatever. I don't know, but from the outside in,
we're gonna sound like proper boomers talking about like how he's not focusing on football and shit like that.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. It seems like he's not. It seems like his focus isn't football, and therefore, obviously, that's going to come out in performances on the pitch.
Forget the outside factor. I just don't think he's good enough anyway. Even if he wasn't doing this charity work and shit as well, and that. So
yeah, but everything plays a part in it. The fact he hasn't got good grounding in the team because it's so chaotic. The fact he's doing all this outside work and he's not focusing on his football as much. The fact he's had injuries. That all plays a part in what we're seeing now. And in my opinion, I don't think he's as overrated as you're saying. but I just don't think he's fulfilling the potential that he actually has.
I think his performance is awful.
I just
I've put this to summarise in 2 years. In the last 2 years, he's in the league. He's played 62 games.
Yeah.
He scored 15 goals. And
but we're talking about a chaotic shit United side.
Yeah, but he's rated to be way better than that, regardless of what United team is in. He should be their star that gets them winning goals or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's.
But then,
so you think then if Arsenal signed him on the left, he'd turn into 30 goals a season?
No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that he would be good competition on the left-hand side. Yeah,
saying
I do believe that.
Ollie's saying competition in a better environment.
Rashford's rated. If Arsenal signed him, Rashford should be starting for Arsenal. That's how highly rated he is.
Yeah, but then this is the thing. So if we're saying that he's like that £80 million player, everyone perceives him as the £80 million player, the guaranteed starter on the left wing, one of the best left wingers, then no, he's not at that level. But if you're asking me if he could come in and do a job at left wing with some competition, then yeah, I do. I would sign him at Arsenal to bring competition to Martinelli. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, see, but that answer alone I think makes him overrated because of what he's rated at now.
I see your point. I do see your point. Is that like he should be coming in. He should be the starter. He should be the one with the
like
kids getting their shirts.
Do you want him at your team's competition? I might even say yes. But
the best way to describe it, he got given number 10 at United for God's sake, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, I have a bit of an issue with people getting numbers way too early.
First of all, he's not even number 10 anyway. It makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense. And to be honest, to sum it up, I thought he was super talented, but then a certain number 11 came in. He was in jail right now, and I thought he was twice the talent Rashford was. That's the thing. So, yeah, I think so. We're gonna say I agree with Chaz. I think he's overrated.
I agree he's overrated, but not to the degree you two are thinking he's overrated.
I'm not.
Yeah, that's fine. You can disagree with the little statement, but it's whether you think overrated, rated, or underrated, I suppose.
Yeah.
All right, got any underrated shouts, Ollie, or I can wherever you wanna.
I don't know. I didn't have many more underrated left because we did Tyrone Mings for me.
Yeah.
I've got one overrated, but we need to go with. We need to get off the English vibe and go to an underrated.
Oh, I was going to say an underrated English player. I was going to say an underrated English player for Chelsea.
Wait, Chaz. Wait, was yours a City player?
No, I was going to say Mason Mount for Chelsea.
Okay.
I'm interested because I don't think he's underrated. That's the thing. So
yeah.
I'm gonna.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do Mount then because. This would be interesting.
I want to see why you think he's. We're really sticking on this English hype, aren't we? For fuck's sake, yeah.
Yeah, we are on English. This is what I mean. We have to go.
Hold on. I've got non-English players. I do though. I have got non-English players.
Do you want me to do a quick?
Give us a grounding on why.
Go on, let's do a quick one on Mount. Then go on. That's fine.
Sort of short and sweet, but I just think that obviously he's rated by Chelsea fans and stuff like that, but I don't actually think he's rated by many other fans. I pretty much know Ollie doesn't rate him, and I just think that he actually gets more for some reason. He's at very early into his career. He obviously sort of set the world alight with Lampard at Derby, and he's only, I think, in his third season at Chelsea now, and I just think he has been one of their better players from midfield in the last few seasons. I mean, last season, I'll check exactly to get the number, but in 30 Premier League appearances, he got 11 goals.
Look at Chaz being the stat man. He's bringing all the stats and shit.
Loves a good stat.
That's from that's from midfield.
Hold on, Chaz. Yes, from midfield. Chaz, how many goals did Bruno get last season in the league?
Yeah, no. I just
want to know how many goals Bruno got in the league as well. I just want to know.
I don't know.
Because Ollie, I'm just going to bring up to Chaz. He said he was the most overrated player in the league. Yeah.
Well, he's got basically the same stats as Mason Mount.
No, I'm not just saying it's off the stats, but I'm saying that he's contributed from
And Bruno,
midfield.
and obviously
Bruno
Ollie
got
said
10,
Bruno was
Bruno
being
got 10 in
And
36.
using the eye test, you can see how much harder Mount works than Bruno. And
Yeah, and they're probably from open play. I don't know how many penalties. He doesn't take penalties, so they're from open play, Nick. Just to confirm that.
I know. I'm just saying Ronaldo took last season, by the way, as well.
Don't start bringing in Ronaldo. We don't need to.
All I'm saying, I'm putting it out there. I'm not. Listen, I don't rate Bruno. I'm just saying though. Ollie just said in a chaotic Man United side, Bruno got one less goal than Mount last season as well.
there is a conversation there.
Yes, and I think in a chaotic Chelsea, Mount contributed
no,
the
no. Don't try and do
Chelsea
that.
are not
No,
chaotic. That is a
even try and
complete and utter
don't even
facade.
try and do
They
that.
are
Chaotic
not
Chelsea.
chaotic.
Yeah, they are. Chelsea are in a nightmare situation.
No. You're talking about towards the end of the season. No. They were still.
They came off the back of the Champions League.
Yeah,
win.
they did win. They won the bloody Champions League the season before last.
They were flying high at the beginning of the season until like 2 months towards the end.
They signed Lukaku. And they were top of the league at October or November or whatever, or something like that. And people were saying, "Oh my God, they're in the title race as well with Liverpool and City."
So there is an argument of someone who was flourishing in a good Chelsea side. If you put Mount in a United, let's say,
Fuck me.
sorry
Jesus
to keep putting you down the gutter, Nick, but
no,
I think you would see a completely different player, and I actually don't think he is. I don't think he's underrated at all because when I talk about like the fact that I don't like him, I don't like the way he plays, I don't like his persona. I don't think he's actually got that much technical ability.
I've got some comeback for you.
No, I disagree with Ollie there, by the way, in that sense. I rate him. For me, he's the perfect example of fairly rated. For me, this is the epitome of a fairly rated player for me. I'm not going to budge on that one, whether he's not overrated or underrated. He's just fairly rated for me.
But this is to come back at you, yeah?
You're saying he's underrated?
Yeah, maybe Ollie, because people probably don't even realise this, yeah?
Yeah.
So he's only in his third season.
Yeah.
He's 23, isn't he?
Yeah. He's now achieved. He won the European Under-19s Championship. He won Golden Player and was in team of the tournament.
Fucking hell,
yeah. He goes into the Chelsea team. He's been haven't won it, but he's been runner-up 3 seasons in a row. Yeah, he won the Champions League. He was in the Champions League team of the squad of the season. He has won the Super Cup, the Club World Cup, and been the runner-up in the EFL Cup. At his age, he's third season,
and runner-up in the FA Cup where he missed the penalty. He missed one of the decisive penalties.
Okay, all right. So by that logic, you still think he's underrated?
Yeah, because
that's what I'm trying to get at.
He's only like 22 years old or something.
I don't agree with the underrated. I don't agree with the underrated thing of his. That's the thing as well. I just think that.
If he was doing that at Arsenal, we'd be going crazy. He's 22 years old.
Yeah, but
or 23.
Look, you can chat. We all know stats.
If we had him instead of Odegaard and he was free flowing with Saka and that, we'd be going mental.
He's not, and I don't think he could do that. I personally don't think if you chucked him in the Arsenal side, he would be free flowing and he'd be able to control the game like Odegaard can. I don't think you'd see that.
But off the back of what though? I don't know how you don't see that. He does that at Chelsea
because
he contributes for them from midfield.
I think the way that Chelsea is set up really help his game. And if you put him into a side that was struggling a bit more, you wouldn't see the same player at all. And I can't give you the stats that will back it up, or Ollie, I can only go off eye test.
Ollie, are you saying Mount is the English Bruno?
I'm not going that far.
What do you mean? No,
yeah, I'm definitely not going that far. All I'm saying is that I don't rate him as highly as. Actually, no, I'm going to go with chest here. I don't think he's a very good player for how he's talked up.
Another thing, last 2 seasons, he's been Chelsea's Player of the Year. Last 2 years.
Yeah, but then again, David De Gea was our player I'm about to get, but yeah.
And that kind of doesn't mean anything, really. The fans like that.
I don't understand how.
It's just likable characters, isn't it? He's a likable character.
Chaz,
people like him.
I've got a good point about Mount. The way people rate him, this is where you can maybe hit that overrated, wander into that overrated category. Yeah, people compare him to Foden. For me, there's not even a chance in he gets nowhere. He couldn't lace Foden's boots.
I
Yep,
see it
I agree
differently.
with
I
that.
don't see people calling that.
No. They put him in the category
Yeah,
of
but
Foden. They have put
you
him in a
would.
category of Foden, yeah. And Foden is miles better than him. He is as well. Technically, he's just more gifted in general. He's just a better player all around.
If
That's
you're
the thing.
comparing Foden, you have to compare Foden though.
Yeah, you
Both
have to. Of course,
English,
you can.
both play
young,
attacking
both young
midfield,
English. Both. You can put Madison in there if you want to as well. You
both
can,
young.
hold on. Actually, that's a good one as well. Who's better, Madison or Mount?
Oh, I don't rate Madison either.
Yeah,
I actually know.
Anyway.
I don't think there's much in between that. And Madison had a solid
I think
year
they're pretty
last year.
similar. I think they're pretty similar.
Madison's technically better than him. Is what I think. He's technically more gifted.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but I don't think Madison's work rate is the same as Mount, so they probably level off to be about the same, in my view. But yeah, I don't.
But
rate
then I
him.
think
If you were giving me Foden,
he's
if
a
it was
class
a choice
above
between
both.
the three, it's not even a question.
Yeah, Foden's a close-up. And also, what about your boy? You got Smith Rowe. How much do you rate him compared to Mount as well?
Mount's better than him.
I think technically Smith Rowe is better than him. I think he's better with the ball at his feet.
He might be better, and he's another player with a lot of potential. But where Mount is at his career right now, I think he gets quite a bit of hate. Actually, I might be wrong. You might see it. He doesn't, but
I don't think he does.
I think he does. I think people take the mick out of him a little bit, Mount.
They do.
Like,
I have seen
compilations
of him being taken the mick out of. I've seen.
Yeah, and like you would say, I don't know about Nick, but I feel like Ollie, you wouldn't even put him in question to be in the starting 11 at England.
No, I wouldn't. No,
I don't understand. That's what I mean. How can you not be? I don't
But then
understand
again,
how he can't be in
Ollie would put Ward-Prowse over him. That's the thing.
Yeah, probably would.
True.
Actually, to be fair, I probably would.
You better watch part 1, listeners.
All right. Fuck it. All right. So we'll wrap up Mount as well because we still got loads of players to get through before 11. So
I'm saying overrated.
I'm saying definitely fairly rated.
Fairly rated. And Nick,
no, you're saying underrated, aren't you, Chaz?
Yeah. It's just Chaz saying
underrated.
Yeah. I'm saying massively overrated.
Okay,
It's
we're all different. We all got different opinions.
Cool.
That's what we want, though. We want a bit of chaos in our videos.
There we go. I'm going to go with an overrated now. Let's see.
On, get your Pogba shout out.
No, overrated. Why would I put? I'm not putting him in my.
Because he's massively overrated. That's why.
Okay, well, I go with here. I've got two names here that. God, I don't know if I can. The thing is, though, one of the names I said before we recorded, I don't know whether I can actually put a decent argument against it. It's going to be tough to say he's seriously overrated. Shit, and I'll be in for a lot of slack.
Come on, let's go.
Fuck.
Look, you'll just get a dislike on the video if people don't agree, or we might get a comment saying
no. Let me go. No. We'll this will be towards the end. I've got one more overrated to do here before I get to the guy that I want to get to. All right, my overrated is David De Gea. I'm going to go with as well.
Okay, all right.
I think these nostalgia merchants just can't seem to get him out their head that. He won Player of the Year 3 seasons in a row when we were under Moyes and LVG. Look at the amount of great, his compilations. If you went through his YouTube highlight reels, he's made some absolute, wonder saves. He's had stellar performances against you lot at the Emirates, I remember. But I just think we're in 2022 now. My word, he is fallen off a cliff. I watch him way too much. Yeah. He is seriously overrated. Some of the way our fans back him is sickening, including Mark Goldbridge as well. But can
I ask quickly, Nick? In them seasons before, do you think he was overrated, or
not
just coming
overrated?
Coming on the verge.
No, he wasn't overrated. But I think football's changed so much in the last 3 to 4 years that.
No, because I think I'm going to agree with you, but I just wanted to see if you.
No, I don't think he was over. I think there was a point in 2015-16 or so. He was one of the best keepers in the world.
Okay,
I'm going to go off of that as well. He was one of the best keepers. No, he was up there with the Neuers and. But he was
when are you putting him in that? Sorry, what season or how long ago?
Now he's just completely overrated.
Oh no, for the last 3 years, 3 to 4 years, ever since that World Cup for Spain. I think it was 2018. It was his own shit. He was horrendous. He was shit in that World Cup first of all, and I can make loads of points on an international scale as well. Luis Enrique never picks him for Spain now because it's two reasons. He picks bloody Bilbao's keeper, Unai Simon, Brighton's goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez as well, and there's one more keeper that's over him as well. Oh, Brentford's keeper, Jose Rea as well, yeah? All of them over De Gea. Think about that. Them three keepers are picked over him for obviously one big reason. They're good with their feet also. And also, it's not about just about the feet. They're more proactive and commanding in the box and actually come out for crosses, get off their line, comfortable outside the box, being a sweeper keeper. De Gea is a typical 2010 style goalkeeper, 2010 to 15, where it was like keepers just, traditional standard goalkeepers that would just hoof the ball out, would maybe, he'd be a good shot stopper, but he was never that imposing keeper. Like, we've had the likes of Schmeichel down the years, yeah, at United, and Van der Sar, who would come out, command the box, kick people up the arse. Neuer does it to this day for one of the greatest keepers ever. And now keepers like Alisson, Ederson, Courtois, Oblak, these are all proper monsters in goal. De Gea's never been a monster. He's just been he's got very good reflexes and he's been a very good reactive keeper. But the way some people rated him, even to this day, and they still won't budge on him, is ridiculous. He's a massive problem at United, and people don't realise that's the thing because there's so many other issues that he seems to slip by people's minds. But he done it in pre-season the other day. He never comes off his line, and he gets overpowered. So Callum Chambers literally just jumped on him, and De Gea is such a lightweight kind of pussy. He is as well, honestly, that he just doesn't have what I don't know. I just really have grown to dislike him. To be honest, I really. And also one last point: he's on 350 grand a week. So he's one of the most highest paid players in the league, one at top 5 in the world as well. Yeah. So I'm sorry, Chaz, you're bringing up Maguire, yeah, and what he's priced at. De Gea's getting paid way too much for what he actually produces for us.
Yeah.
It's sickening.
I find De Gea an interesting one because there's an argument to be had that last season you would have been so much further down the table than you actually ended up being if you didn't have De Gea.
No, I don't think so. If we had Dean Henderson,
and the shot stopping and keeping you in games when you actually needed it, because there is an argument to be had there. But I think De Gea, like actually Leno for us, and it's a good comparison.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
is kind of the epitome of that old style keeper dying out. I don't think he's shit by any means at all. He's just falling foul to the fact that keepers and the way you need to be a keeper nowadays has massively over the past couple of years gone from here all the way over there. The transit, they've not been quick enough to keep up with the transition. So in my opinion, I don't think he's overrated per se, but I just think he's getting, I don't know, he's just not where he needs to be now, and for United he probably isn't the future, I guess. Don't get me wrong, I think he could stay with you guys for another season and still be good.
Bro, he's going into his 12th season as a fucking United player, for God's sake. That's ridiculous. That is stupid. He could be hitting.
Been there for 12 years.
Yeah, it's the thing. He could be hitting like 15, 16 years. He's one of our longest serving players in the history of the football club. But he's hitting like fucking Paul Scholes territory at some points as well and shit. Like, how on earth has that happened? How have we let that?
I personally am agreeing with Nick. It might be because he's persuaded me. Don't get me wrong. We talked probably a few times on this, but I've always been, to be honest, even when he first came in, he actually got a lot of slate when he first came in, right? Because he made a few mistakes right at the start.
I remember that. Yeah.
And he looked quite weak and stuff like that. And I think Nick would back me that we both quite rated him.
Bro, we watched him when he first came through. I remember we were watching it at bloody the Winchmore Cricket Club. We were literally watching him and he got overpowered by Samba at Blackburn and shit as well. Yeah.
But I do agree that I don't know if I'd potentially, maybe I wouldn't say 3 or 4 years, but we are seeing, I agree with you in the sense that he's getting let off by a lot of fans and he's become or becoming one of the biggest problems probably that you need to sort.
100%.
If you're talking about a spine
Yeah.
in the team, I mean, Ramsdale's another argument, but Ollie, you've said that we weren't happy with Leno. We've gone and got a new goalkeeper. United have let go, whether he's good enough or not. You've let go of people like Henderson and that now.
Yeah,
just kept De Gea.
Henderson's better than De Gea now because he fits the modern day goalkeeper.
And that's what I mean. And we may even look at who's Henderson gone to again?
Forest. So he's gone to Forest now.
So we may even see like other teams. He can go. It's like a stepping stone now. So we may even see him be that modern day goalkeeper that goes into the Premier League and flourishes with other teams. And you just think that, yes, you're scouting team, but I feel like fans have just gone, we don't need to address that. We've got De Gea.
Chaz, people
not watching the performances.
People falling in love with him too much, and it's hard for our fans to accept it. That's the thing as well, because obviously we all know what happened when he was about to join Real Madrid and that whole fax machine incident. Yeah. So obviously he was on the verge of joining. Does Ollie even know about this?
No.
He was on the verge of joining Real Madrid on deadline day about 5 years ago, I'd say. And obviously they're saying the fax machine broke, so he couldn't go for it. He couldn't go. The deal.
What 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were going to get De Gea, weren't they, before
in the
Courtois?
1930s. I know it was shit. It doesn't
they
make
wanted
sense.
De Gea, didn't they, before Courtois?
Yeah. They were desperate for De Gea.
Yeah.
So they're desperate for him. And but anyway, besides that point, I'm just thinking he's such a hindrance. He does not come off his line. He's stuck to. People call him the glued. You know, he's the glued to his line. No, seriously, it's so embarrassing to watch. And I feel bad because his legacy is going to get ruined. You know, that's the thing. So, and obviously, I don't know if you lot saw in pre-season. Ten Hag was screaming at him the other day. De Gea kicked it off the pitch, and he was screaming, "What the fuck was that?" He said, "As on shit, as on like because." Surely Ten Hag is wise enough to know that you know to start to fix your problems, you start from the very back as well, and you want it from the goalkeeper onwards. But the problem is, I don't know if you lot agree, because we've got so many other issues. De Gea is he's not gonna get sold.
That's what I mean. I think he will stay for another year and probably be okay for you. You'll probably have a lot more niggles with him next year. But he's still going to be a bit of a steadfast in the team because he's been there so long.
Yeah, but I think it could be this season could look even worse.
Yeah, this could be the
Ten
nail in
Hag
the coffin of this season.
Because Ten Hag is going to try and play actual football. It could get even worse.
Yeah.
Right. He could be really exposed.
And with what I've seen Ten Hag already, he's not going to let De Gea off. He won't genuinely. Tom Heaton will be in goal if De Gea doesn't follow his instructions and shit as well. And the thing is,
that's the worry that is Tom Heaton's the second choice.
And he's another old school goalkeeper as well. We don't have any. We have one, and we sent him to Forest. It's ridiculous. But what I was going to say,
that's probably a stupid decision.
Yeah, we made so many stupid decisions as well. But with De Gea, what was I going to get out with him as well? He's just 350 grand a week, like I said.
I can't believe that. I didn't even know that. So
yeah, come on. Do you know why he's on that? Because we were desperate. It was at that time when we were desperate to keep hold of him as well. Because we thought, oh my god, if we lose him, it's going to be curtains for us.
Yeah.
As well. I just think, that's my point. I feel like I really need to get this one across on this because he's been frustrating me for a while now. And do you know what the worry is? He's only 31 years old, so he's still got ages left in his career, and that's how long. So we have, he signed at 19 years old. We signed him, and it was between him and Neuer. Fergie was trying to get Neuer from Schalke, and obviously we opted for De Gea in the end as well.
Yeah, but you can't.
No, it's fine. I think Fergie made the right decision by signing him as well, and I think we got a good 7-8 years out of him. Yeah,
but he was good for that. Yeah,
but the time is up now. The time is up for him.
It would, considering how long he's been at the club and what he did do for you.
Yeah,
would you class him as a legend?
Like, I suppose you're saying off the back of this year is going to go bad. So I suppose
I'm just thinking.
Make an edit to Ollie's question that if he left now, would he be a legend to you? Like if he retired, say, or just,
unfortunately, unfortunately, he's been at the club during the real bad years. He has as well, like during he's he's been here throughout post Fergie. So he's obviously been there for Fergie. So he's won one league title, one Europa League, one League Cup, and an FA Cup. So he's won them 4 trophies, yeah. And he's gonna be what our all time. He might be hit our all time record goalkeeper in terms of appearances, and he'll be one up there, one of the most all time at United. So it's hard. It's hard to argue that. It sounds weird. I don't think he'd be a legend. I think he'd be an icon just below that. You will as well. I think he'll just
Right.
be in. He'll be in that. Who would you compare him to at your maybe your club? I'm trying to think. That was not up there in the legends list, but he was he's a decent.
Lehman did these decent things for us, but I wouldn't call him a legend.
Who?
Lehman.
Okay,
Lehman.
obviously he wasn't there at Arsenal as long as De Gea's been. But yeah,
But
I get you.
let's say, okay, let's change the question slightly.
I'm trying to think of someone.
If he carried on for the next couple of years, let's say 4 years, and really sort of ruined
legacy,
and he got worse and worse and worse, would you think of him very differently, as in like being, considering he would have been at the club for like, I don't know, 15 years plus?
Yeah, he'll just end up ruining it, wouldn't he?
I was going to get a point that De Gea, you say, oh, he makes all these saves. Yeah, it's only because he gives the ball away all the time that he's making all these saves in the first place. Yeah,
He does do that
him and Maguire should get as much hate. He should get as much hate as Maguire, if that's the case. Then as well, because them two are both old-fashioned. They both want to. Both of him and Maguire are like a duo. They are, honestly, both of them suit lower league clubs now that have their backs up against the wall, and he has to make 100 saves in a game, basically. But if you want to be a progressive team, De Gea and Maguire should be nowhere near a modern day team.
Yep, I don't disagree with that.
All right, so I'm going to go overrated. I'm going to stick with that.
Yeah, if you're asking now, I suppose I'm going to say overrated.
Because people have stuck with the same opinion. They're still putting him in that same year.
Funny enough, when he first came in, I arguably think he was underrated. Then he was fairly rated, and now I think he's overrated.
Yeah, exactly, Chaz. He's gone through his whole career now. That's his whole career. So
yeah, I can't massively disagree with it. Yeah, I would be on the verge of fairly rated and overrated.
Okay, in between that.
Yeah, really.
Yep.
All right, go on. What? Any of you got a shout for an underrated here? Ollie, I know you've been.
We need to get an international. You've got loads on your list, Nick.
No. Chaz, what have you got an underrated that you think's? Obviously, I've done Neymar. I've got. God, I did.
I'm trying to look not English really, but
I've got 2. Fuck it.
All of mine are English. And we're making it. We may as well make this a St. George's Day special.
No. If you want me
I wrote down Busquets.
Oh God, that's like a generational thing as well. That's the thing. Like for me, he is. I get you. I fully get that. That's the thing. But I feel like obviously he's towards the end of his career now, isn't he as well? And that, like, but because otherwise I'd be saying, listen, I could bring up Ronaldo if I wanted to as well. That's the thing. But I'm not gonna, because I just feel like it'd just be. I'm not.
No, the only reason he was on my list, it was almost a bit like it's because they're the same positions. You know where I said, I don't know if I said it in the last one or I said it off camera. Fernandinho for City. You know, the sort of the water boy of the team that doesn't get all of,
Yeah. Do you know? I had a few. Yeah.
You probably got a bigger list, but I haven't got that many underrated.
I'm not gonna go with. I feel like am I tripping? Have we had a discussion on Pogba before as well? I feel like
we have done a Pogba segment.
And I feel like I don't want to, Chaz, I don't know if you agree, I don't want to repeat, Ollie's going to do and repeat the same things. I'm going to repeat the same things back as well and shit.
That's why I'm not doing Trent.
I'm going to go, underrated. It's in between 3 players. You lot can help me. It's either Hazard, Grealish or Verratti. I might go Verratti.
Underrated.
I might go for Verratti as an outside. You want a European one that's a bit outside there.
Yeah. I'm happy to talk about Verratti, but I do agree.
I have limited knowledge. I can't say.
Well, he wants a European one, but he doesn't know.
I can't say I've been watching him since he was a kid.
All right, so Verratti. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, we may as well. So it's 50. Okay, we'll wrap up in what 15, 20 minutes. We'll wrap up.
Yeah.
All right, Verratti. I'm going to go Marco Verratti. Fuck it, why not as well? Just to show that we've got a bit more than the Premier League just to offer as well. Yeah. Um. Yeah, I'm going to go with him because I just think that I think he's been at PSG for 10 years now, which is insane. That's the thing. Like he just hit his 10th year. It feels like he's been around forever, doesn't it? So it does feel like he's been around for a while. But he joined very young from I think it's Pescara in Italy. He was. Um, I just think that he's such a top-notch player. I know it sounds such a basic analysis, yeah, but he is just such a graceful midfielder. When I think about it, he's like 5'4". He's and he just the midfielders I grew up loving, like the Xavis and the Paul Scholeses, yeah. But people like that, yeah, Pirlo's. He is just one of them mold of players, in my opinion, and he's just so good. When I watch him play, yeah, I'm actually so happy I brought him up. He's brought a smile to my face. It's just genuinely, he's so good. I remember in recent Champions League performances against Real Madrid, Man City, I watched the way he can control a ball in the tight scenario. It is so good to watch. Like against the creme de la creme of teams, chats. This is recently. I know PSG haven't won the Champions League yet, but when I see him in these top level games, with high players, yeah, with De Bruyne he's up against, or whether he's up against Muller, whether he's up against Kroos and Modric, yeah, he's fitted to that stage. He deserves to be on that stage with them because he's so good. He's just the way you can't get the ball off him. It's so it's like Messi and other players that I like. Yeah, you cannot seem to get the ball off Verratti. It's stuck to his foot, and because he's so small, that low center of gravity, he's just so good. I don't know what you lot think.
Thiago like.
Yes, Thiago's another one. I absolutely adore. Again, he's in that mold. Perfect way of a comparison. I just think he reminds me of a little tricky winger, but in midfield.
Mm.
What do you think, Chaz?
I agree, to be honest. That's the problem.
No, it's not a problem, mate. Trust me.
But yeah, I do agree. And I mean, even in the international, like every time he's on the pitch, I just think he's
classy,
classy, yeah, above standard. Like it's technically brilliant, but I think he's really gets the ball ticking. He just makes a difference.
So good, isn't it? Midfield. He's not a bad tackler. He's good at tackling. He's actually good at.
Oh no, he does a lot of work rate. A lot of people
And the sad thing about him, I don't know if you know, he's had a bad injury records in his career. That's the problem with him as well. So it's obviously hindered him. But obviously, Chaz, you talk about international. He won the Euros last year summer as well. He was an integral part of winning it. Him and Jorginho in midfield. That's the thing. And I just think he is so. Everything I want. You know what United? We lost Scholes. Yeah, he'd have been the perfect replacement. Him or Modric to replace Scholes. Yeah, he's everything I want him in a midfielder. Verratti has. Of course, he doesn't have the physical attributes as in height and strength. Yeah, but we all want that. That player that can dictate as well. So obviously, I think you're getting it a bit with Frankie De Jong. He reminds me a bit as well. Another player like that. Yeah, like. I just think Verratti's been doing it at a high level now for a while now. 10 years at PSG. Obviously, he hasn't got that famous Champions League that they need to kind of solidify.
That's the other thing, though. 10 years at PSG, and he's seen so many talents come and go.
Yeah.
So many managers, and they've always had him in midfield.
Yeah, you're right.
There is a testament there, and like I can't go into full depth of like how he plays and everything like that because I haven't watched enough of him. Only like the odd games in the Champions League and stuff. But is there the same argument that will come up for Messi, come up for Neymar, come up for Mbappe, in that like he's only had one move, and that was to PSG, right? Yeah. The fact that he hasn't done it in any other league, because we always use his argument about going into Champions League.
I'm pissed off that he hasn't. You're right.
And does that go against him because he obviously hasn't got that? Like we talk about Premier League being the best league in the world at the minute, and the fact that he hasn't gone and done it, even in like Spain or anywhere, just anywhere else.
It's a fair point.
And that does frustrate me. I feel like he's going to do one of these. You see, like Koulibaly's just left Italy, and Thiago Silva left PSG. Like I feel like Verratti is going to move in a year or two, but it'll be too late. It'll be too late by that point.
Yeah. That's the point.
I can see that Chelsea signing him at one point, and then it'll be too late.
I feel like if you're gonna be talked about, like because you could call him underrated, right? Yeah. Because let's be fair, like he's not talked about, like none of the pundits talk about.
Yeah.
When you think of like international players from our point of view when we're in England, you think of like Lewandowski, Haaland, like Messi, Neymar, all of these massive players that come into conversation. So if you're classing him in the same sort of area, I suppose, I'm not saying that he's the same as Messi or whatever.
Yeah.
But he's not being talked about. So from that point of view, you can talk about him being underrated. But if you go on.
No, I just feel like the way I describe Neymar is the same energy I'm going to have for Verratti. I feel like unfortunately, I think that he should be described. He should be in the conversations with the Xavis, the Pirlos, the Scholes, the Xabi Alonso, players like that. We've gone and said Toni Kroos, Modric. But unfortunately, circumstance, and it seems to be a common theme now. PSG might be the hindrance for these players as well, yeah, because the league but in terms of raw ability, I think he could play in any generation. He looks like he could play in the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s.
Yeah.
He just looks so good. And I don't. We're gonna obviously he's not a stat. He's a dictator. He's never going to have good stats in terms of goals and assists here, which we're not looking for in players like that. I'm worried that players like him are going to die out. I'm really worried about that. Like he's just the perfect kind of.
Well, they're almost forgotten because they're not talked about, and they don't have a big money. But like you could say PSG, but like I'd say 12 years ago, no one was massively.
No. He didn't move for that crazy money that they're paying now for players. Yeah,
so in order for him to get the stature that he probably deserves, he would have needed a City or a Liverpool or a Barcelona or.
The point I'm saying he's underrated. He could have played for a City, a PSG, a City, Barcelona, Real Madrid. He could have easily played for them.
Yeah,
easily.
Well, if you think if you're casting him in the same area as Thiago, and he probably they're very similar styles, then he could absolutely be in a midfield battle between City and Liverpool, and one having him and then one having Thiago, and it being quite a good battle.
Would you lot, just to quickly wrap him up, would you lot take him now in your team?
Yeah.
I would, because listen, I'm rolling McTominay and Fred and fucking Donny van der Beek.
Yeah, you 100% would.
Mate, 100%.
Yeah, I reckon he can lace Odegaard's boots.
No,
we wouldn't even play him. We play him in the 2.
Yeah, in the 2. So
he's better than Xhaka, 100%.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, obviously. Yeah, as well.
Yeah. So by that logic,
he'd be our best centre mid. He'd be our best centre mid.
Yeah.
He'd be our best midfielder.
Yeah.
Ollie was hesitating there.
I'm quite liking the look of our new midfield. When Tierney's back at left back and Zinchenko gets in that middle,
don't worry, we'll get into that in the season preview, yeah, and shit like that. We'll get into what Ollie thinks Arsenal's, if they're going to title charge.
Mate, I genuinely was listening to I was listening to Edu's interviews on my way back.
Oh no, you're not falling for the Edu hype.
And I was like, I genuinely believe we're going to go for the title.
Jesus Christ. Oh god, Edu's been selling so many dreams to Arsenal.
He has been selling stories upon stories.
He's a great talker. I'll give him. He's a good talker. But yeah.
Yeah, but I'm a bit. We're going on massively off on a tangent now. But I'm a bit worried about his selling ability.
Yeah.
Great at spending money. Let's see if he can actually get any back. Right. Yeah. So moving on.
I'd say. Would you one more player?
Yeah. Let's do one more and then wrap it. Who's a big one we can end off?
Fuck it. Should I just ring it up, chances on? Just try and roll with this. Let's go. I'm thinking of what the player that I was gonna suggest is overrated.
Oh, go! You're going with Messi.
No, I'm not going with Messi.
Are you going with the other one?
Why? Did you have something lined up?
No. You going with the player that's very like Messi?
Who's like Messi?
Say who yours.
In Nick's eyes, no one's like Messi.
No one's like Messi.
The one who I would say is
overrated.
Yeah, is that who you're trying to say?
Who do you think is overrated?
The suspense is killing our viewers.
I don't think he is. I thought you were going to say something stupid that I'm going to be annoyed at. No, say who you think. Go on, say who you know.
All right, let's go for Kylian Mbappe. Fuck it. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Fuck it. We may as well end on an absolute.
We're already on PSG, so we may as well stay there.
Yeah, and exactly. The two PSG players that I've mentioned, Neymar and Verratti, I put in the underrated category. I'm putting an overrated player now in the PSG team. All right. Let me
Give
just
us a grounding.
let me recollect my thoughts. So, no. The reason I'm going to go for this is because this guy is. We can all agree he's rated as the. You could a conversation as arguably the best player on the planet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's in
He's
that.
on all the FIFA covers everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. He's the PR machine. He's the Drake of football. He is, yeah, in that sense as well. He's everywhere. You cannot miss him, can you? He's in the Jordan. He's repping Jordan, Versace, all of it. He's a model. He's everything. Obviously, he's the poster boy of modern day football. You know, going into this World Cup, yeah, the Qatar. He's the face. He's the face of the World Cup coming into it, yeah. And he definitely is because look at what the Qataris gave him the money at PSG as well. So they've done that for a reason. I just think that's take into account, yeah, how much he's on, or like Ollie, if you heard the wages he's on
About $450 a week, isn't it?
more. I think it's more. I think it's more than that as though like he's the highest paid player on the planet. I'm pretty sure he is now. Is that right, Chaz? I'm pretty sure he is. He's the highest paid player.
I don't know.
I remember. When they announced that deal, they broke a lot of. They managed to squirm their way around a lot of FFP rules to fucking make sure he stayed at the club. He was on the verge of joining Real Madrid and PSG.
No, way high. Double what I said.
What?
1 mil a week.
What in euros?
Yeah, it'd be euros. Yeah.
And how much is that, Chaz, in pounds? Like
it's probably like 850, 860, something like that.
800.
You see, I'm sorry. I don't know what you lot think. Let's do it one stage at a time. Yeah, is he worth that? Go on. Is he worth that much a week?
Yeah, the problem is like money's blown up, isn't it? That's the problem.
Yeah, and it's not just he's not just paid on his footballing ability.
Yeah,
he's not just paid for that.
You could argue commercially he is worth it. Then he is worth it. Commercially,
he's
going to get that money back from him.
Like the shirt sales alone.
I can't really argue the wages because someone of that. For a club and like I can't really say he's only worth 600 grand. Like,
but I do think 800's mad. Yeah,
that money going into that stratosphere, though, isn't it? It's going into that stratosphere. Like the Premier League in a year, we'll have someone that's like that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Haaland's on. No, but the thing is, though, Haaland's on half of Mbappe. That's crazy.
And would you class Haaland?
No, yeah, but if Haaland had gone to someone like PSG, they could have effectively maybe not that much, but it would have been more than what City gave him.
But Ollie, we compare Haaland and Mbappe are the comparisons. They're meant to be the new Messi Ronaldo thing. But I just think, I'll never argue with these numbers. I'll never argue with how he burst on the scene, scoring in World Cup finals. Just coming up clutch for club and country, yeah. But the way we rate him, this is why I'm saying overrated. By me saying he's overrated doesn't mean that I think he's first of all shit. He's for me, I think he's actually quality. I can still say he's overrated and quality, yeah. That's my point, yeah. But the way we're talking about him as the next Cristiano Ronaldo, as the next Messi, that ilk of player, yeah. I just think people are jumping the gun way too quickly on him as well. And I watched both of them at his age. I still think they were operating at a much higher level than he was at their age as well. Stats may not back it up, but in terms of raw quality, them two had far much more talent than he will ever have, in my opinion, as well. And
but what about then just below Messi and Ronaldo? Like if you kept them two as
in Neymar's category,
he's nowhere near Neymar's talent. He's nowhere near the talent that Neymar has. Like he's just not even close, Chaz. And you can compare them because they're both, he can operate left wing. I know one's a number 10, one's more of a winger. But Chaz, when I think of raw footballing ability, I think Mbappe impresses me at times. He's better than a Salah for me, for example. I prefer him to a Salah, but. You know what I'm wondering? When his pace does go, I'm being deadly serious. I think he's going to drop off a fucking cliff. He's honestly, he's one of them players.
Yeah, but when his pace goes, that's not going to go for years.
That could be 7 years.
Hold on. How heavily reliant is he on his pace, though? Is that his best attribute? It is by a mile, isn't it? But come on, there's no arguing that for me.
Yes. But by that same token,
by a mile though, there's not anything even close. Because for me,
I disagree with that because by that same token, for a lot of maybe a lot of it, one of Ronaldo's best attributes was his pace and the way he could run with the ball down the wing. In the same way that Mbappe
Ronaldo was more powerful. He had old school Ronaldo at Mbappe's age right now. Remember,
but so you're saying it's just all pace then? He still has
no, not all pace. Heavily reliant on pace, like over 80% on pace. It is
no. But even if it was, he is obviously one of the fastest in the world. But
finishing ain't great. He's not a great finisher. He's genuinely not. And I could show you a whole compilation of all the misses he's had. Yeah. Because he gets so many chances, and I get it, it's great because he gets himself in there because he's so fast. He's going to get so many chances, and he's playing in a league where the defenses aren't exactly amazing. His finishing is mediocre. I'm being deadly serious. His finishing ain't the greatest.
I don't think it's mediocre.
It is mediocre.
I don't think. Nick, if it's overrated, then where are you rating him at the moment? Like, who is he on par with?
You see the way I put Neymar as a generational player, about how we're ranking him in terms of Mbappe is considered a generational talent. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
he's a generational talent, surely.
Yep. No. But I don't think his talent is generational. No, I don't think his talent.
If you compare him, right?
His ability on a football. He's not. How can I explain it?
No, I think you go too heavily
but Chaz,
on how you see a player.
You're not understanding the way he's rated. You know how highly he's rated. He's so highly rated.
Yeah, but other than Messi and Ronaldo, he is arguably one of the best players in the world.
No. Don't compare him to Messi and Ronaldo anyway, because the age gap's ridiculous. Forget
Messi. I don't want to compare him now or how they used to play. I'm taking them two away. But then he is like the third best player in the world.
So
no, he's not. Neymar's better than him. That's the thing. Neymar's better than Neymar. How can you say Neymar's not better?
I disagree with that. I disagree with that. And
Neymar's
use the same argument that Chaz used earlier, right? For
that's an outrageous statement. That's an outrageous.
No,
he's 23 years old.
Chaz, you see the way you agreed with me on the Salah thing, yeah? Mbappe is in that category of Salah where it's like.
Yes, but he's 23 years old. He can surely adapt his game.
He could. That's wait and see if he can adapt it. Because I made my prediction. As soon as his pace goes, you're going to see levels.
Yeah, but we're talking. I think you lot are going to be 7 years until his pace goes.
He won't lose his pace for 6 years.
That's fine, but I'm saying
in 6 years he's likely to gain a bit.
Chaz, look at how Messi and Ronaldo adapted their game to more than just pace. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to do that. I don't think he has the technical ability of Messi and Ronaldo.
I disagree. I think he will be able to convert himself to do that.
No, because we're putting him in the Messi Ronaldo category because that's what the trajectory we're rating him on. Yeah, that he's going to get.
Yeah, that is a fair point. A fair point.
I'm saying he's not going to be anywhere near their level, not even close. He will not be. You see, Benzema, he will never be anywhere near as good as Benzema. Well, how in his whole career? That's a great comparison as well. It's another one, yeah. He'll be nowhere near.
I think they do different roles. I think the way they play.
No. We're going forwards that score goals. I don't care about how different they are in terms of the way they play in that. Benzema obviously never relied on his pace, yeah. He'll be nowhere near Benzema's level. He can't lace Benzema's boots by the end of his career. I'm being deadly serious.
No. You're going way too far.
Why would he not?
Because Benzema's levels above him. Levels.
On what though? Because he could easily join Real Madrid in 2 years or whatever and win as much as Benzema. So if you're saying not the eye test or anything, you're literally just saying goals, honours, and everything, he will have the same trajectory as Benzema.
Well, first of all, actually, all right, fine. You're saying not
really, before you start, Nick. This is a really good point. Is that why would if you're by that argument, you're saying that he couldn't even lace Benzema's boots? Why were Real Madrid going so hard for him? Like literally to put their entire club on it, like the future of Real Madrid on him. Why would they be going that hard if you didn't even think he could lace Benzema's boots?
Because Real Madrid they would be stupid not to try and sign him because of the commercial aspect. And you lot are misinterpreting.
It's not just the commercial though. They wouldn't be going that like.
Let me finish my point though as well. You lot misinterpreted. I said he's a quality player, but you lot have lost that as well completely.
No, but what we're trying to convince you, I get you're saying he's a quality player, but how I don't understand.
Overrated. This is my point. Overrated. And
For
that
what? For what though? What part makes it like? If you said to me,
because the way we're comparing him, because who we're comparing him to, we
but
don't
he'd go into pretty much any team in the world.
no. But that's not. He's compared to Messi and Ronaldo. He's compared. That's not. No. He's nowhere near their levels. It's disrespectful to them. It's disrespectful.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is
At
disrespectful
23
to
years
them.
old.
It's incredibly. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. It's honestly.
It's not a disgrace. It's absolutely not. Because the way you talk about, like we talked about generational talents, right? He is the next generational talent. He's 23 years old, right? Use Charlie's point earlier about Mason Mount and what he'd already got for where he is in his career, right? Mbappe is absolute miles ahead of him. Okay, absolute miles. He's on every
Mount. Why?
Because the only reason I'm using him is because of the age that they're at. Okay, you give Mbappe, and bear in mind strikers and forward players mature like a fine wine. As soon as he gets 6-7 years in the future, he's going to be an absolute outstanding. And look, you never know what could happen.
And this is why football's dying.
It's not though, because of the trajectory that he's on. He can absolutely be.
No, Nick. I think you see it because you don't rate him as a footballer. I really do. And my point is, he, even if you take, and you want, I understand you keep saying you want Ronaldo and that to be in the argument, yeah. But people compare him to that because of what he's achieved at his age. So Messi and Ronaldo, even if you think it was a bit more, they were on this same trajectory. Yes, you rated them as way better players or whatever. But currently now, if you forget, say they both retired, Messi and Ronaldo, yeah? They've got to be not far away from it.
Yeah.
Then we have to look at in this generation who are the best players. Like during that period, we had Maradona and that. This period we had Messi and Ronaldo.
That's the great point is that for me that means the standard has dropped. If he's the poster boy, the standard of the whole football has dropped. Then, if that's the case, if that is the case that you'll say, for me, football as a whole has dropped. I'm being serious as well, honestly, because that
I don't understand why. What do you hate so much about it? Because
he's so reliant. He's so reliant on fucking athleticism and pace that it makes me. It just doesn't.
But that can be a talent as well.
No, but it doesn't it doesn't give me the same feeling. It doesn't give me that same feeling. That is just.
This is where I think it's too heavily on like what you see as a footballer.
But you're comparing him, yeah. Like, okay, cool. You see him as the next big thing, generational. You know, if Lewandowski and Benzema are coming up now in the same age bracket as Mbappe, they're better than him. They will always be better. That's the thing. They're better than him. They always will be better than him.
Right. I've just looked this up because it's actually really interesting.
No. Let me. Wait. You're saying Mbappe is better than Lewandowski and Benzema? Like, no, I mean, like I just. Are you saying at their age, you genuinely think he's?
I
at 23 years old, he's way better than Lewandowski.
Yeah.
At 23-year-old Lewandowski, yes. 100%.
You think he's going to end up having a better career than him?
Well, the way he's going, I can't. Like, that's a prediction. I think he will. Yeah, I think he will achieve.
Yeah, but I'm obviously making predictions as well because I said I think once his legs.
That's why I don't think he's overrated right now.
So I'm not gonna. I know on here, all three of us are a bit like stats are a bit wavered because they don't mean as much.
Ollie's never left the French league. Ollie's never. Left. I'm not doing this.
No. But you have to do this. You have to do this.
Cavani,
all at 23 years old, right? Kylian Mbappe, 197 goals. Ronaldo, 132, and then Messi at 197. How is that on the same? That's crazy. Total assists, Mbappe tops it again, 111. Ronaldo 66, Messi 84. Trophies won, 14 for Mbappe, 5 for Ronaldo, and 12 for Messi.
Hold on. Let's go with your logic, yeah? At the minute, you're saying he's going to be better than Cristiano Ronaldo by the end of his career, basically.
He potentially could be.
No. This is ridiculous. This is stupidity.
Nick, even if you say no to that question, that still doesn't make him overrated now.
No, but it does because I'm comparing him to them. That's what I'm comparing.
No, but you wouldn't have been able to say that about Ronaldo at 23 years old. You're saying it at 40 when you know what he's achieved.
Ronaldo won a Ballon d'Or at 23 or whatever, yeah, as well.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have said that he's 100% going to be the best player in the world, or even at Messi at 23. You wouldn't have necessarily...
No.
Yes, you love...
different. Yeah.
Okay,
no, he's different.
Whatever.
He's different. Don't compare him to Messi.
Yeah, you wouldn't have said Ronaldo 100% is going to be better than Maradona. Because they're different generations.
So, okay, cool. Different generations, Chaz. You know when we're discussing greats like Maradona, Pele. You talk about generations, Ronaldo, Messi, and there's other players throughout. You can go Johan Cruyff, players like that. Yeah, is Mbappe in that conversation? He's going to be in that in 10 years' time.
Yeah, he could be.
Yeah,
he could be easily. Could be.
The trajectory that he's on, he absolutely.
What he's
could
achieved
be. You
at
can't
23,
argue about it.
you're going to give him 10 years to get more. 100% he could.
Let's see how long.
He could be in 10 years. He could be French top goal scorer. He could move on to Real Madrid and end up battling Thingy Bob's record. He could be Champions League top goal scorer in 10 years. Of course he could.
I think he's going to burn out quicker than you lot think. I think he's going to burn out a lot.
If he does, then it will be like a major flop.
No. Yeah, obviously this is all about. So there's a lot of predictions and hypotheticals involved. Yeah, but that still makes sense for me to say it because I feel like, as I said, Chaz, your main point about Mbappe is that you think, why am I saying he's overrated now? Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think because we're putting him as just this. He just don't. For me, he's the world's best player according to everyone right now as well and shit. And I don't think he is. That's the thing.
Like the only reason deep down I personally think you don't like that is because you don't rate him as a footballer.
That's one of the.
I can't see if he was this technical player, almost Messi-esque, dribbling past players, running like that, and he'd achieved this much at 23. I think you'd be saying.
I respect him similar to Ronaldo in the fact that he's made the most out of what he has to offer, and he's putting up whatever he's doing, what he's doing at this age, yeah. But compare him to someone like Ousmane Dembele at Barcelona, yeah, for example. Both similar age, both young French forwards, yeah. Ousmane Dembele, it's all about how you can grasp your career and the way it goes, because Ousmane Dembele probably had more talent than Mbappe, and obviously he joined Barcelona for over 100 million. So you can compare them two because, big prospects and talent. You remember him at Dortmund, Chad? He's highly rated, this guy. He was the Mbappe before Mbappe. Like, he was mentioned, they're similar ages, but he was mentioned before Mbappe. Dembele was the one. Yeah. I think that talent-wise, for example, it's just Dembele's been more injury-prone than Mbappe. But if Dembele wasn't as injury-prone, he'd be on that level that we're talking about. I feel
I disagree. I don't think he'd be on Mbappe's level.
Why though?
But I think the point is that
I think Mbappe's just taken his performances and what he's achieved to a new level.
Dembele, the only difference between them two is just injuries. That's it for me. That's the only difference. He's just been struck with constant injuries.
Yeah, but that's a prediction as well. But I don't see Dembele doing what he's done.
Man, some of the comment. He's both footed. He's naturally both footed as well and shit. Like,
but I don't see him doing what Mbappe's done for France, for example.
Yeah, but again, he's not had enough. He's not had enough games. That's the problem.
Yeah, but that's what we've left with. We can't just I
know, I get it, but I think it's a good enough comparison to say that I want to kind of put it into perspective about. I respect Mbappe's grasped the opportunity and made the most out of his talent, but I can still say he's overrated. For me personally, he's overrated in the grand scheme of football. He's just an overrated player, and it's a damning indictment of the standard of football to this day. For me, it is as well.
I think it's way too early to say that. Way too early.
Yeah, we are. We're way too early to judge. But I'm pretty confident that we can both say that. I think he's like fairly rated.
Yeah, I think it's fairly rated.
Listen, if we're, hopefully we're still doing this in 10 years' time, yeah, so on that, and we'll be what? Ollie will have a few kids under the belt.
Yeah, but even season by season, like this
viewers in 10 years.
Even this season, you're right. He's got to take it to another level. Like, he's got to keep doing that.
I don't know, but I just don't want you to lose, to lose the fact that I still rate him as a player.
No,
I just want to get that. No, it's because I'm only saying he's overrated compared to his ability. That's what I was trying to get across.
Yeah, from a footballing perspective solely.
Mainly that, as well. That's the thing, and that's wait and see. I need him to make a big move to then see what happens after that. And if he can guide if he's the key hub in PSG winning the Champions League, which I'm sure he will be if they do win it, then things can change quickly as well on that. But we'll see anyway. As we've gone a bit over time now, so.
It was a good final argument.
It's the fact that I left that till last as well. It's
a good part too, yeah.
Fucking hell for fun.
Right. Are we wrapping up?
Yeah, let's wrap
100%.
Go on, Chaz, the outro.
make sure you hit that like button. Please subscribe. We're trying to get our views up and our likes, and subscribe. Please hit a comment if you disagree or agree with one of us. And there'll probably be some clips on Twitter that we can debate about as well. Thanks for watching.
Peace out.
See you later.
Cheers, guys.